How would you make bigger enemies?
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Until the next chaos. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to the morning show.
Good morning.
What are those glasses? Why do they still have a sticker on them?
It's, I call these the rednecks. I bought them from Dalai Lama, and I can remove one of the lenses, and I call it the redneck monocle. It's one of my characters.
Oh, okay. I was like, where's he going with this? I was just waiting. I was like, there's going to be a payoff here.
No, it's one of my characters. The classy redneck, I call it.
The redneck. Classy is a stretch, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Hey,
for a redneck.
redneck monocle up in the producer's booth today, just producing the shit out of this audio podcast for you.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw. Let's do the whole show like this. I'm Fixins.
All right, I know I can do it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's a Wednesday here in Montreal. We just done had a storm. We done had a storm of storms. It was a big old ice storm. God said, hey, I don't like all this LGBTQ alphabet people shit, and he hit us with some ice. And the ice was heavy, and the Lord doth said, no, you ain't gonna have no power. I switched into black there for a second.
You have black
Yeah.
picture.
That was so good.
I was doing all right for a while, eh?
That was great.
Yeah, so we had an ice storm. I think everyone knows that at this point. My name is Phil Balabanos. With or without an ice storm, still my name. You can follow me at balabanos.com. Poseidon, when you get a chance, turn off the AC because it's fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, please. In front of me, the man from Brossard, the man who we tease for living out in the rurals, but who had power the whole time. Yeah, nothing to do or go or anywhere to be, but he had power. I, on the other hand, living in the densest part of the city, destroyed. Have you been through Codeneige?
I haven't. It's the first time I come into Montreal.
Nothing in your life?
No, since
Oh,
the
ice
whole
storm,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I said this on Instagram too. We learned nothing last time from the ice storm. Zero
But
lessons were
how
learned.
much can you prepare really? Like, okay,
Well,
you're
here's-
expecting
I'm gonna say
a
two
nice storm.
things.
You're expecting freezing rain. You're thinking of the worst case scenario where trees are gonna fall. You're gonna lose power. What can you do?
Well, one thing you could have done is what they said they were going to do 25 years ago, which was bring the
That was
majority.
25 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah, bring the majority of the grid underground, which in the end they said they weren't going to fully do because it was expensive. But like that's no reason.
Well, now.
But hold on.
Yeah.
So here's something I found out: the city of Montreal during COVID canceled all its tree maintenance contracts. All the contractors who maintain the trees.
Yeah.
Because my dad's been saying it since I moved back into the neighborhood. He goes, they don't maintain the trees like they used to.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. They seem like fucking trees. They seem normal to me.
Budget cuts.
What budget cuts? Budget reallocation. I like to call it the bike lane portfolio.
You mean government corruption?
No, I don't think the city's as corrupt as we think. I think they're just inept. I think they're stupid more than anything.
I think it's a mix of both. I think there's
This for me, what happened now is the blame, 95% of the blame lies with the city of Montreal. And I think if she gets reelected, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is the kind of thing that destroys a political career. She destroyed the city by misallocating funds and not doing the things that should be done.
Nobody's talking about that.
You know what's
Nobody's
suspicious?
talking
You
about
know
it.
what
Everyone's
else-
yelling at Hydro, but it's not Hydro's fault.
But that's what I'm saying. What can they do? Even if they were expecting this to happen,
I know.
they
I'm
have
agreeing with you.
they have the resources.
You know what
I
else?
don't know how many. They even brought people from Ontario to help out.
Yeah. Hydro's doing an okay job in general, like as good as Hydro could do for a socialized fucking. Yeah, what do you
You know
trying
what
to
else
say?
was suspicious?
I see the finger swinging. Go.
You know what else is suspicious? none of the bike paths were affected.
Yeah, how do you know?
Have you seen, dude? There's still streets where there's trees, giant logs,
Yeah, I live in
and
that
branches.
neighborhood. I know.
Still on the street, and you still have to go around. And yet,
The bike lanes are clear.
the bike lanes are clear, my friend.
Look, I'll say this.
Suspicious.
The most suspicious thing that I saw, but then there's a secondary part to this, which kind of negates my initial observation. Westmount never lost power. None of it. Nobody in
they're rich.
Westmount. Westmount never lost power because their grid is underground. Their line comes in
Really?
underground. But,
Yeah, but
they
tho-
also
yeah, but those-
have a lot of their cables above ground. So you're like, why? Because the city of Westmount still has tree maintenance. Whereas TMR, and this is what negates my initial observation, TMR is one of the worst part hits of the city. Parts of TMR are still dark till yesterday.
really?
And I was driving through and it looks like a bomb went off.
Really?
But what I don't understand is the city of TMR has been showing a surplus for like 8 years. Why are you not trimming the trees?
Maybe they are, though.
Suspicious.
No, but-
No,
guys,
you can tell. Some of those branches,
But
man.
here's the question I have. Even if Westmount's cables are all underground, at some point, don't they connect with the other grid?
They come in on a separate line, apparently. I haven't confirmed this, but someone told me this.
Because you would think
And
that
take it with a grain of salt. That's
somehow
someone in a
everything is
cafe told me.
interconnected. So if the district right next to it is down and all those cables are down, power isn't getting to Westmount.
I don't know. It probably comes in somewhere on its own.
I don't know how these things work.
I don't really know
even in the
either.
South Shore, because we were looking at the map on Hydro-Quebec, and there were a lot of sectors that had lost power. There was one middle section where it was fine, and that's where we were. So we got very lucky.
I remember I was
And we
Wednesday-
weren't even here. We went to Quebec City for the
Oh, really?
weekend. And I told my parents, I go, look, the house is empty. Just go stay there. Oh, no, it's okay. We're going to
My
be
grandparents
fine.
refused to leave even after 3
We're going
days.
to be
They're like,
fine.
no, we're fine.
That was
We
after
stayed
the first day.
Yeah.
And they thought that they were going to get their power back right away. And then the second day, they just went and stayed with my sister. But the biggest worry was, the lamb and all the food that have been
Did
frozen.
they bury it in the yard?
No. I mean, they had it in the freezer. So luckily, nothing.
Yeah, my freezer held. My fridge did not, though.
No, the fridge is finished, but the freezer stood and it kept everything frozen. And they're happy because all the Easter
The
stuff.
yams.
Yeah.
The arnier.
Can you imagine though, man,
I know,
losing that
expensive.
shit? Fuck.
Well, look, we had just done groceries like the day before. I had gone to like a bunch of different supermarkets and I had bought like Greek cheeses and a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. Garbage, gone. All of it gone. So like I easily threw out $500 worth of stuff from the fridge, man. Plus my kid was on penicillin, so that spoiled too.
I wonder if there's gonna be any reimbursements because I was reading an article and I can't remember
During the
where.
ice storm, there was a flat fee that was given out for freezer losses from insurance companies. I think that was negotiated by the government with insurance providers. I don't know about this time. It'd be nice, but if it's gonna bring our premiums up, like I'd rather
Yeah.
just fucking pay for it.
Look, in terms of damages, I don't think it was worse than 98, but some people did lose their lives.
Well, look, Well, we were stuck.
How many people died?
I
Two, I think. is
two
the
or three,
official
something like
number.
that, yeah.
Rookie numbers.
They are rookie numbers. I'm coming the day of the ice storm, right? I
98
realized-
you're talking about.
No, today.
Oh, okay.
This year. I realized that it's gonna get worse before it gets better, so I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up the kids early from school. So I pick them up, and I'm driving down Barclay, which is a lot of big trees
Already
all
falling.
around us. I'm like, oh
No,
shit,
man.
like panicking, right? I was like, we're gonna get fucking nailed, and I need to give this car back next week. I just repaired it from the fucking school bus.
Yeah.
I was like staying in the open spots. All of a sudden, you hear this loud snap, and my daughter goes, "Oh my god!" I look. There's this woman walking.
It fell
Fucking-
on her.
Just took her down.
No.
Okay.
No way.
And they're like, that lady. I'm like, oh, she's fine.
No way.
So
Are
some,
you serious?
We hear screaming. We're all in traffic. It's bumper to bumper because a big tree has fallen up ahead. Everyone's going around it. This guy runs over that was on the street. Another guy. They lift this massive branch. They pick her up. Her whole side is like bloodied and muddied. Her
Holy
clothes are ripped.
shit.
And my daughter's like, is she okay? I know the answer. The answer is no. This woman has internal bleeding and a concussion at least. And I'm like, yeah, she's fine. And my daughter goes, I think she's gonna die. So the little one starts crying. I was like, great, new fear unlocked for the kids. A tree falling on you. It was really traumatic. Like,
No shit,
I
man.
just saw her bend in half and just hit the ground.
Bitch got folded.
She got folded. But
God
earlier in the
damn.
day, because I went home after the morning show, because we didn't know what was going on, right?
Yeah.
A small branch had fallen in front of my house. I called Hydro. They came within 10 minutes. They came, fire department, they cleared it.
Yeah.
I was like, nice. Later that night around 8:30, I'm on the balcony looking at the tree. I'm like, she's not gonna make it in the back. And I just hear pop, 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 and it comes down, and I go, shit, that was my 5 cable. Like I just saw the cable.
No.
So while we had no power, I called Bell. I'm like, come reconnect my 5. So they come. They're like, there's no way there's signal in this line. Like it's been rattled. He plugs it in. He goes, you're getting 1.5 gigabytes a second. I'm like, connect it to the house now, because nobody was calling Bell.
Yeah.
There was no power. So I called, and within a couple hours they came, which is like unheard of. So they come, they reconnect it. They're like, you have no power. I'm like, I understand. But the second my power comes back, I'll have internet. Which, yeah, I want to have it. I don't have TV. I don't have anything without the 5 cable.
And
How
you
long
have-
were you out of power?
I lost power Wednesday. I got it back Saturday.
No way.
Friday night.
Did you lose any?
No, I lost for 3 hours.
No. The Côte de Neige, I'm not even joking. It's disgusting what's happening.
It got rattled.
My street, I don't know. You've never been on my street, so you don't know where I live. You do.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Oh, I
like
know where you live.
We're the second house on the block, right?
Okay.
You couldn't go past the 4th house on the block.
No.
We had to come out backwards onto Côte de Neige because so many trees came down.
No, that bad.
I live in the part of Côte de Neige, which is the oldest part of Côte de Neige, so the trees are older.
Yeah.
The trees are massive.
They're massive, yeah.
Yeah, they're massive. Like, they're bigger than the houses, all of them.
Jesus Christ.
It's not like
yeah.
Park X. Park X has big trees, but like Côte de Neige, the trees are massive.
Parkex,
I
mean,
got
yeah.
very lucky. First thing, I only lost power for 3 hours. And then, while all the branches were falling on all the street, Park
Yeah,
X
yeah.
was mayhem as well.
Yeah, I heard Park X was pretty bad too.
I got very lucky. I
But you
step
live on
out.
Lackady, that's why. It's a separate line.
Yeah.
You live on like a
it
main
is?
street. Yeah, it's not the same lines that connect the inside streets.
Interesting.
And you don't have trees.
Well, no, we do. Not
Well,
on Acadie, but in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood,
And
yeah,
I was
of
parked in
course.
the neighborhood, and I was leaving for to go to Comfort Zone because Josh hadn't called me to say it was canceled yet. So I'm like, I'm going to go. Whatever happens, happens. Worst case, I'll come back. And then he called me while I was on the way. But when I went out to go see my car, dude, huge branches had fallen right next to my car on the sidewalk and on the street. We're talking about branches that would take me out.
Yeah. Look, my neighbor, my
And
downstairs
my car was
tenant,
untouched, bro. Not a dent. I was like, it's a miracle.
my tenant who lives in we have a basement apartment. I call him. I'm like, yo, you should probably back your car up. He's like, why? I go, because there's no branch behind you above it. There's nobody there. You should park there. And there's a massive branch above your car. He's like, all right. So he comes out. He backs it up. Comes inside. I'm at the window watching him. Then some guy comes and just parks his car. He's delivering something. While he's delivering, doesn't the branch come down and just smash the car?
Where your
Yeah, like
tenant
within
was.
5 minutes.
Oh,
And he's like, oh,
shit.
bro, thanks. The best part of this story, by the way, is the guy's name is Robert. So I tell my phone, call Robert. The phone rings. He's an American guy. He's like, he has an American accent.
Yeah.
The phone rings. He's like, I hear, hello? I'm like, hey, Robert, it's Philip upstairs. Philip? I'm like, yeah, Bill's son. Oh, yeah, Billy's son. How are you? I'm like, hey, it's getting pretty bad.
That's an American.
No.
Yeah.
I go, you should probably bring the car in. He goes, what? I go, yeah, it's getting pretty bad. You should put, he goes, you called me just for this. Thank you. I put my car in the garage. How are you? I'm like, shit, this is not who I thought it was. I called some random guy who, okay, so here's the story.
What?
My dad had this guy in the West Island. He was an Arab dude. He was a tailor. And we used to go for suits.
Yeah.
It was like out of his house, but like nice suits. The guy used to work for these like, I don't know what companies. So I haven't spoken to this guy in like 16 years or whatever, 15 years. So he recognized who I was when I told him I was he thought I was just calling him, hey man, I was thinking about you. You should put your car in the garage. So I don't explain
What a
my
strange call, bro.
I'm so embarrassed at this point that when he goes, so how have you been? I go, can't talk now, really busy. I just,
You have to move countries now.
I'm changing my
have to
number.
leave.
I'm
Look
changing my number.
at him from his perspective.
He must be like,
he
"Isn't that
hasn't
weird?"
seen you in 16 years. Put your car
And
in
he
the
barely
garage.
knows me. And he's like, that's so nice of you to call.
That's so fucking
That's
funny.
really funny.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it's bad. And you know these things. Every time they happen, you have all these comments like, "Why haven't we learned anything?" At the same time, and even though, you know,
I can't stop thinking about my call.
even though these things happen and you try to learn from them, it's never easy to prepare yourself for something like this because
I'll
you
be
don't.
honest.
You know,
It's been 25 years. When I was living at my condo, if the power had gone out, I was fully prepared. I had flashlights. I had everything.
Yeah.
I had water. I always kept extra stuff in case, whatever. I even had a gas kettle, like if I needed to heat water. This time, I was using my iPad to light the house at night because I had nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing I did have in the daytime, when I realized it was getting bad, I called down and I go grab all the battery packs we have that we use for the kids for their iPads when we're out, charge them all. Thank God, or else we wouldn't have had phones either. So, but I was caught with my pants down. Like, I wasn't ready. My
By the
dad
way-
too. He was so embarrassed. Like, connect the generator. He's like,
We don't have it anymore.
Oh, we do.
Oh.
We bought it in 1999, right after the ice storm.
And he's never plugged it.
We've never
once.
needed it. 15 years later, we changed the electrical box of the house, so the generator no longer has the right connections.
Oh no!
And we just never did it.
They disconnected
Yeah,
it.
we just never did it.
The smart people in this ice storm would say free wood.
But you can't burn wood anymore. You're not allowed.
Well, with the price of the wood, what they can do if you're a builder, you collect the wood.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to collect wood for that kind of stuff, but it's not the right kind of wood.
No, if you trim it down and cut it and sand it.
No, because when they build, like the wood that they use to build is from the trunk of the tree. It's not from like branches and stuff. But that wood can be turned into pulp for paper and a bunch of different stuff.
Or it could be turned into like desks and shit.
Yeah,
Or
like
cabinets.
pulp, because they no, what is
Yeah.
it called? Not fiberboard?
S-
Pressed wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they pulp, make it into pulp, and they press it. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. But I don't know what the city plans to do with this wood. I got lucky because the tree that fell in my yard was my neighbor's.
You're gonna give it to Valerie because she has the passion for Le Penis.
La Penes, huh? That was a stretch.
it's
That was a
wood,
I got it.
yeah,
It was a stretch
yeah.
joke though. My neighbor's like, look, it's my tree. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna take care of it. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I watched him. He's an old man with a machete. I'm on the balcony
Oh, human.
cleaning the yard. I'm like, this is great. This is good. I don't have to do it. My dad's like, I go, do I help him? I feel bad. He goes, no, it's his fucking tree. Let me take care of it. And he did. He made short work of it.
See, like if you were living somewhere where you can burn wood, if you had a fireplace,
You're fine.
fine for the season.
Look, my in-laws, because they're in Greece now, they're like, how bad is it? I'm like, it's ice storm level bad, but like the first days, because now it's gonna melt, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we were okay during the ice storm. We had no power, but we had the fireplace.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, but you can't burn a wood fireplace anymore.
But you know,
And even the gas ones, you need electricity to start them.
Oh
They
my
have
god!
electric pilots, most of them.
Nah, but you can light a match and it'll catch on.
Not
The
all
gas
of
is
them.
gonna
Not all of them have access. A lot of the newer ones, you can't access the
like
inside.
my stove is gas powered.
So you were able to. Oh, you had power.
No,
yeah.
we had power, but I remember a couple times when we lost power, it doesn't open from the spark
Yeah.
plugs don't go.
But that's
So you can
the
light
stove.
up a
I'm
match.
talking about the fireplaces where you actually cannot access the pilot.
Right, right.
Like my in-laws have that now. You can't access it. It needs to be started.
But in
electric.
these
I have a question.
circumstances, think about it this way: in these circumstances, you have a fireplace and you know you're not allowed to burn wood, but you have no power.
you burn wood.
Of course.
Let them deal with it.
Of course.
Later.
Yeah. What are they
If
gonna
you
tell
have-
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't burn it normally, chances are your chimney is not clean and you
Ah,
can't.
I doubt it.
It's probably not in use, so you can't do it.
Or it's been blocked off.
It's been blocked off. Yeah, a lot of these places.
No, you know they don't block. You just don't like. We have one. We never got
I have a-
inspected when we bought the house because we can't burn firewood anyway.
Yeah.
So I go fuck it.
Oh, you
man, who
can't
cares?
in the South Shore.
No,
No, everywhere in.
no,
in the
we
G-
can't.
the
But we
Greater
have. There's a
Montreal area.
fireplace, and I never got it inspected because I never care. I'm like, look, we're not going to use it anyway. Fuck it. Why would
Can't
I?
you convert it to like gas?
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
you should.
but
Good to have.
yeah. Well,
I'm just saying. I don't have a fireplace because I'm not affluent like you.
what?
I mean, I would take a house with no fireplace. I would just take a house at this point. Looking for a house. You got a house? I need a house. I can't live upstairs anymore.
2024 market's gonna come down, so be ready.
Yeah, 2024, bro. Ποιος ζει και ποιος πεθαίνει. Till 2024. I've been waiting since 2022.
Take advantage of it, man. Just
It's not that
save
long.
money.
2 years. It's not that long.
It's hard
2
to
years.
save money now. Because all the money that I was saving, now everything's 5 times the price.
No, but seriously, Phil, I've been talking to a real estate agent, one that has like a lot of experience, and he's gone through the 08 crash and everything. And I've been looking at the
I
markets.
don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
You're probably right. That is gonna, but like even now, I'm seeing an adjustment in the markets. But
you know what you
there's a
should do?
supply issue now.
You know what you should do? Revenue
what I should-
property.
What?
Revenue property.
But I don't have a house.
No. Instead of buying a house
Yeah.
in 2024, you buy a revenue property like a duplex or a triplex.
My situation is not a financial situation anymore. It's my wife wants a house where we don't have to live in someone else's
It's
house
a,
anymore.
it's a situation. Yeah, it's
a
desperation.
no, it's not desperate. It's a psychological well-being situation.
I see, I see, I see.
I probably should have bought a revenue property when I moved and let that sit for a while and then taken out.
You would
and
have been a
bought house.
millionaire now.
No,
No, 'cause it was
It's
during
just that
the-
you have
No.
something to leverage. You know what I mean?
When did you buy the condo?
The condo?
Yeah.
Oh, in fuck.
See, what you shouldn't have done is sold the condo.
09.
09. Oh, bro, you'd be laughing right now.
You mean moved out of the condo and stayed where I am now?
Had you bought a triplex instead of a condo, bro, you'd be
No, but
laughing.
dude. Poseidon, he only knows half of everything, yeah? My condo that we had, it was a revenue property. It was my wife's before we got married. She had it, she was renting it.
Oh,
But then we decided it's such a good location, let's live in it.
oh,
That's what happened. We were doing good. My whole life was right on track until COVID hit. Every
Like a lot of
decision I made
people.
was smart. What?
Like a lot of
Yeah.
people.
But until the second kid came.
No, the second kid wasn't an issue.
Fucking
If
kids,
COVID
man.
hadn't happened, I don't know if you remember, but right before COVID, the lockdowns, I was looking for a house. We were gonna keep the condo.
Yeah.
Like we were house shopping. I had good income. Like I had lots of clients. Everything was
Yeah.
great. And then all of a sudden, there's a common cold that's going around, and you should all stay home forever and go bankrupt. And we're like, oh, okay. And then we were fucking washing our groceries like fucking bitches.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. It was fun.
How
for-
crazy was that? Dude, we would
Hold on.
come in, get undressed in the garage, and come in
Oh
the
my
house. It was
God.
so fucking.
That's a bit much.
It was
I never
so
did
have
that.
to say,
ridiculous.
I have to say it was fun for about a month.
No, it was never fun. for
Fun.
me.
No, it
No,
was
man, it
fun for
wasn't
about a
fun.
month.
No.
There was
That's 'cause
that
you're
grace
single.
period.
You were just home masturbating all the time.
No, but also, dude, the streets were empty. There wasn't a cat, bro. There wasn't even a cat.
Yeah, the cats died, bro. All the Chinese people ate them, right?
For us, it was great because we would get anywhere we wanted to within 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people during COVID, during the lockdowns, they ended up buying houses out in the middle of nowhere. They're like, oh, this is the new reality. And now they have to commute 3 hours.
And now they have to sell them, but the prices went down.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It always
All
starts
those assholes
out.
who moved to Talbot.
That's what you get for living in Tarban.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But
why was Phil suicidal? What are they talking about? I missed something. I was
oh,
looking
you
at
were
the chat.
talking about everything.
Oh, yeah, it was rough. I was never suicidal. I'm too much of a narcissist to hurt myself, but I was definitely anxious. Yeah, I don't know, man. It
All right,
was,
let's get to
what
the
a
news,
mess.
boys. It's
This
been
has been
22
news. We've been
minutes.
doing
This is the
anecdotal
news.
news.
This is
Oh, yeah, it's
We're
true.
talking
it's
about the
true.
ice
This is
storm.
what's been preoccupying
I call it the second coming of the ice because it was on Easter.
Look, at least we're lucky that it was towards
That's
the end
clever.
of the
Thank
winter
you.
season, right? And
If this had happened 4 weeks ago, we'd still be in the dark.
done, right? Done.
We'd be podcasting by candlelight.
Like that's why it was so severe.
There's an idea.
That's why it was so severe in '98 because it was in January.
Yeah, it was January.
That lasted 5 days.
What?
The power outage in '98.
Are you kidding me, man? Are you?
How long did it last? Because I
What are
remember
you talking
For
about,
some
dude?
people, it lasted like a month.
Back then,
way.
I remember my
Yeah.
aunt. My aunt used to live in Brossard.
How old were you in '98?
I was 5 years old.
Yeah, you don't
And
remember.
it lasted 5 days.
No.
No.
For us to
Look, we lost.
We didn't lose power at all in Park
It
X.
rained. Yeah, I remember. We stayed in Park X. We had to.
Yeah.
It rained for 5 straight days or 4 straight days.
It's true. Yeah, there was like 3. Yeah, it was.
And the power outages started on the 3rd day, more or less, or the 2nd or 3rd day. Then,
Everything started collapsing
let's say
everywhere.
that's day 5. By day 6, the grid had imploded on itself. The big towers in Brossard were folded in half from the ice.
It was.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were bent over.
bent over in half.
houses.
No,
the-
man.
the electrical
big,
towers that
uh,
bring the power into the city.
No.
So it wasn't like lines.
the
it was
huge ones,
fucking
not
main line.
the wooden poles.
You know those
like
big,
the huge
the ones that look like
structures.
rockets?
Yeah, the metal ones. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
They were folded in
They were
half.
folded. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
You did not know this?
I didn't remember.
Oh, man.
Someone said it lasted 3 months.
Brossard
some
got
places,
nailed,
yeah.
dude. Brossard.
St. Lambert was in the dark
yeah,
for
3
months. I
weeks of
remember
school.
because my aunt lived out there.
I remember Park because that aunt of
So-
ours came to live with us,
Yeah.
and my friend Chris, who's just a couple blocks down.
They lost power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we only lost power on like the 8th day of the initial chaos. It lasted about a week. It's because we were on a separate line back then that was connected to the Jewish General Hospital.
Us too.
And
Yeah.
they were running power out from the Jewish. And one night it just fucking exploded.
No.
Like we could see it from the window, the sparks in the
Hold
sky.
on, are you telling
And
me
everything went dark.
The
Don't
Jew-
say it. Don't say it. Don't say
The
it.
Jews are controlling electricity.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's exactly. No, but it
One
was
of the
it was
perks
it was
of
literally
living-
a ghost town. I remember walking down
yeah.
Park X and it was like, what the hell is going on?
One of the perks of living in Côte-des-Neiges is because there's so many hospitals, it's a priority neighborhood.
Yeah.
So if something happens, they always clear it. This time, though, they didn't. Like Legare, you couldn't access the emergency of the Jewish.
Wow.
There's this big tree that just fell across the street.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do you think there are so many hospitals on Côte-des-Neiges?
I've always wondered how that became like a hospital area. I'm not
Do you
sure.
think it's because it was up the mountain and at the time those
But what
those
hospital?
years?
It's the Jewish.
the Jewish, St. Mary's, St. Justin, and
well,
that's
Saint
it.
Justin is on.
And then there's a bunch of clinics all along.
It's on Côte.
It's right there. It's basically Côte-des-Neiges.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a block
Do
away.
you think because in the olden times, before the Industrial Revolution?
There was no hospitals before the
Before
Industrial
the Industrial
Revolution.
Revolution.
Okay, so with the
Côte-des-Neiges
industrial
until 1940 was a ski resort.
Okay, so
I'm not even joking. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah, it was a ski resort.
No way.
They used to go on the mountain ski, and then there was little like hotels.
Times have
That's it.
changed.
Yeah, well, it's been 100 years.
So do you think? Do you think like? It's true. It has been almost 100 years. So listen. So do you think it was kind of like a situation where, like, you know how now people get old and they move out of Montreal and they move in La Campagne or whatever the fuck, like 30
Campagne,
minutes, 30 minutes, 45
north,
minutes,
yeah.
up north. Do you think it was kind of like the same thing? How like it was like people lived in the core downtown Montreal. That was the city back then.
And then they would go over the mountain.
and
when
then they would
retire.
go over the mountain and they would retire.
I
and
mean,
then they had built a bunch of hospitals.
It's possible. Like I had a friend in high school who had a country house we used to go to sometimes. You know what's there now?
Where was it? Yeah.
St. Dorothy.
That's so
It's
funny.
fucking St. Dorothy. Like I remember we used to go to this place called the Hermitage. It was under the Louis Bisson Bridge, the 13 Bridge. You know the 13 Bridge?
Yeah.
To go to Laval. It was right under. It was like a cemetery there, and there was this old, like dilapidated building in the forest. And it was like spooky, and we'd go there and like, you know, like smoke weed, whatever.
Yeah.
Just it's scary, there's hobos and whatever. I looked at a house there last year. Like I went to see a house there. There's a whole neighborhood.
No, it's developed.
I'll never forget. Whenever we go to see a house in Laval, we cross the bridge, and I was like, "We're not gonna move here." I'm like, "Let's go see it." We go. She's like, "Fuck this place. Let's leave."
Yeah. I
no.
agree with her 100%. When we were looking to buy back in 2013, 14, you know, with the budget that we had selected St. Dorothy.
I don't understand the appeal of St. Dorothy. Like, why people like it so much. It's not close to anything.
I just looked budget wise
Yeah, okay.
in a certain radius, and I'm like, okay, we have St. Dorothy. There was the West Island and Brossard. Those were the areas
Big
that
fucking radius.
Well, no, it's all around Montreal. It's the greater Montreal area.
Yeah,
let's
but
say.
like St. Dorothy and the West Island are here, and Brossard's here.
Yeah, because my wife was from the south. It was.
Oh, she's a Brossardian.
No, she was in Candiac.
St. Dorothy
my
is a
God.
really nice area.
So I said, look, forget it. If we go to South Shore, it won't be Candiac. It'll be as close as possible to the bridge. So the closest possible to the bridge is either Brossard or St. Lambert. St. Lambert was like
St.
TMR
Lambert's far.
prices.
Yeah, and it's far.
It's
further.
It's right there. It's
But you come in on the east side. For you, it made sense back then when
Yeah.
you were working. I get it.
So we're looking, and even though I knew I didn't want to go to Laval, just out of curiosity because of the budget thing, I'm like, oh look, let's go visit a house. So we finish work. I leave a bit earlier, like around 4:30ish. I pick her up, and we're going, and we're stuck in traffic on the 13. I call the agent. I go, yeah, look, man, we're not gonna make it. We're stuck
you
in
told me
traffic.
this story, yeah.
We'll reschedule. So we turn back around. She goes, when do you want to reschedule? I'm like, never. We're not moving to Laval. That's
Yeah,
it. We
no.
never even saw the house.
Look, to be honest, I know we'll get into the news proper in a second, but
Sorry,
like,
guys.
Laval, in terms of like access, it depends where. Like Chamonix is actually a really great location in terms of accessing the city.
Sure.
It's not a big deal. It's just that it's kind of
Here's the thing.
Which place?
Chamonix. It's not a nice
The
neighborhood. Like,
reason
it's
why,
ugly.
the reason why it made no sense
It's
for
the
us
ghetto
was,
of Laval.
look, my
It
wife.
is. It's Laval's Park X.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it stacks up in the demographics: Greek people, Middle Easterners, and Southeast Asians. Perfect. It's Park X.
Like for us,
They should have
look,
just called it Nouveau Park X.
the thing about Laval for us was because back then my wife worked downtown, and I didn't really have a schedule, so it didn't really matter for me. But
You were in a government.
Or
You just do what you want.
Sorry
no,
to
but
cut you off,
see,
George.
for us it was okay. We're gonna cross.
He has a button to press. Let him press it.
no, they should have called it Park Extension.
Park XX.
I apologize.
Park XX.
I apologize for allowing that.
So yeah, so we knew that
onus is
whatever
on you.
happens, we're gonna have to cross a bridge. But between crossing a bridge and being downtown, and then crossing a bridge and having to go through the whole highway to get to downtown,
Yeah.
fuck Laval, man. You know,
I mean, look, for me here, Laval would make sense. I can access
sure, yeah, absolutely.
But to take my kids to Outremont to school,
shit.
no, thank you.
No, you gotta change schools.
No, I would never send them to the Laval campus.
What do you guys think about Ile Bizarre?
Il Bizarre? It's bizarre. Nuns Island is
seriously.
nice.
Nuns Island is
Yeah,
nice.
Ile des Sœurs.
Nuns Island is
But
nice.
we used to live there. We used
Nuns
to go
Island
there.
is nice, but you have one way in, one way out.
That's the only problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I
It's
also-
not actually that far, if you think about it.
I also don't like the people there.
It's okay.
You've been there
There's
often?
there's something about their aura that really aggravates me.
It's
My
nice
fight or
because the
flight
new
kicks in.
developments there, those condos right on the river, it's really nice.
Yeah, there's also nice homes too. Like again, my friend lived there when we were in college, and we used to go all the time, just hang out like in Nuns Island. They had a Greek restaurant.
I wouldn't do Nuns Island just because of that. There's one way in, one way out.
I
It's
don't
almost
like the same reason I won't live in Montreal West. There's only one way out. It's Fleet.
What do you mean?
Like Côte Saint Luc, deep. Like
Oh,
the north
there,
part,
Coachella.
Montreal
Yeah,
West.
there, yeah.
Philippe Dussault says used to work in Ile des Sœurs. People can be so annoying. You see, I was right. I could tell.
That's because they're rich. That's
Yeah.
probably why. That's all the aura is. It's not
Yeah.
aura, it's cash. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Like George, affluent people, you can't stand them.
Oh man, what are you talking about?
Bro, stop, mister. I have a condo and a home.
You have a condo and a home. Wow,
and a
bro.
business.
You're out here pretending you're broke, bro.
And I got business with Mexicans.
How dare you?
How dare you, George? What kind of
right, news.
stories you have?
All right, let's get to the news.
Look at me, I'm balding today, bro. Got a 20.
Got a 20.
I got one Queenski.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, do you know when they're gonna put Chucky on the money? When's that happening?
Whomst?
Chuck.
Well, he hasn't even been sworn in yet officially. It's happening now in May, I think. No,
Oh, okay.
where the official, what's it called? The
The Coronation Nation.
coronation. So then I'm guessing by next year.
Oh man, we're gonna have.
It's gonna be ugly.
We're gonna have to rename the money. Huh?
Think what you want about the Queen between having her face and his.
Can I get two Karlaftis?
They should have his annoyed face.
He always has that face.
I
Yeah.
wonder.
I hope they put
what's his
Camilla on
name?
a few
No, but I
points.
What's
wonder.
his name?
Oh, did you hear? So, and we're gonna get to the news, but Charles, not because he's in charge, changed whatever rules used to exist in the past, and she's now officially a queen because she had another designation.
Consort or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. But
She's
no,
queen?
She's queen.
So if he dies, she becomes queen.
No, you call her queen now. If he dies, it goes down his family. She has nothing to do with it.
What's up? What's up?
Could you imagine you go, I don't know, you go to a strip club or something, and then
Who said this joke to you?
no, I just thought about it. And then you go to pay with 20s and you just have this face on the 20s. Like
I wonder. I wonder
sure
what
about that,
version.
right?
I wonder what
Just
version
like
of his
this.
face. Do you think they're gonna have like the old version of it like now, or they're gonna
Yeah,
go
they
like
always
they're
do-
gonna
they
grab a
always
younger?
update. No, I mean our older money had younger.
Like they're gonna
queen.
grab that one. Go
No, they're gonna take a portrait.
no,
of him
the
now.
other way.
It's gonna be that one right there.
No,
in the
go up.
regalia.
That one. The red. No, go down. The one who's wearing his red
This is
military
so
suit.
He's ignoring you completely.
Dude.
It's Milan.
Oh.
They should put the one with the umbrella. That's the one. Yeah, I also enjoy the black toonie because it looks like an LP. Like. I saw
Oh,
that
the
in
one they
chat.
made for the death, eh?
Yeah.
That one.
Which one?
That one.
that one.
This one.
Yeah.
I want that on all the loonies. That's what we need. On all the loonies.
How funny was that? A bloody thing happens to me all the time when he got ink on his. Oh fuck.
God. Or this one. You put this one.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
That's for the toonie.
That's the one.
You put that on the quarter actually. So you get 4 of them. They can look at each other.
Jesus Christ.
What a face.
What a fucking mug.
What a facha.
They must have been cousins, huh? The king and queen. For sure.
Oh man. Anyway, let's get to the news. I'm sure you guys heard or saw what happened with the Dalai Lama.
Oh, it's Saktani.
Oh,
Tongue
yes.
sucker.
Let's talk about
Let's
this.
talk about it.
So for people that haven't seen it, there's this, I don't know, ceremony or whatever they do, and there was a crowd, and there was they put a little young boy there to go see the Dalai Lama, and it was so awkward. Like he's looking at this kid in like amazement, and it's like he can't get his eyes off the kid. And then at some point, he
Suspicious.
tells the kid to kiss him, so they kiss in the mouth, and he's looking at him still like mesmerized. And then at some point, you hear him say, "Yeah, suck my tongue," and he takes out his tongue, and then the clip stops. They don't show, but I don't know if the kid actually
Is
did
this
it or
like
not.
a religious thing? By any chance that we've maybe misconstrued? Is it possible?
No.
You know,
Because
like other religions have these, like the Catholics, they make little boys suck their dicks, right? And that's protected by freedom of religion. So is this possibly that?
no, because
No?
he came out and apologized. He,
It's like,
you
sorry,
know,
I just like Kavlosa, I
there
couldn't anymore.
there was an apologetic tweet there that was sent out.
Accidentally
But,
typed in Dalai Lame.
But it's so disgusting. It is disgusting. Fuck. Like why? Like first of all, I don't even know what repercussions he's gonna
Nothing.
have.
He's the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, but
He's
still,
the
man,
Buddha on earth.
Can you imagine the Pope doing this with a kid? Done. Like immediately on the spot, especially with all the history behind the Catholic
Pope would
Church.
survive.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, he would send the Swiss guard to fucking beat up everyone.
No,
with their gay outfits.
This was disgusting, and you have people laughing in the crowd because I don't know how to respect the
It's a
Dalai
thing.
Lama.
I mean, this is a religion that worships a fat naked guy, right? That's the same religion.
Is it Buddhism that they?
I don't
I
know.
think so.
Religion is odd.
I don't think they have a choice.
Religion's very strange to me. My daughter told me that it's Easter. It's when the Easter bunny comes back. I was like, yeah,
That's
he
what
comes
Easter
back.
is.
He died for our sins. Now he's back.
The Easter Bunny.
My
comes
wife
back.
propagates the Easter bunny.
It's kind of
thing.
like Santa Claus. He comes back for Christmas, he leaves, and then he comes back every Christmas. So same thing with Easter
No,
Bunny.
no, she thinks she's mixed up the stories. She thinks the Easter bunny died for our
I
sins or
have the
something.
video.
No way.
I have the video of
there's
this Dalai
video?
Lama.
You haven't
watch it.
seen the video.
No, I only
Bro,
saw the
on
pictures.
Twitter is amazing. You can find anything.
Can you find the video?
I did.
Wait, can we just talk before you
Oh,
press
this is
play?
the video,
Before
yeah.
you press play. Everyone's wearing masks except for the Dalai Lama who's about to suck face with a kid. Go on. Okay, I mean, that wasn't that weird, to be honest.
That was weird.
No, that was incredibly weird.
Is he standing or is he on his lap?
I don't know.
What?
No, I don't want to watch it happen.
No, see the cut. it there.
What? 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 That is weird.
Can we establish something that's quasi-racist? Why does the Dalai Lama look like an orangutan? Does anyone else look at that?
Look, the other guy taking a picture with a cell phone. Oh, so
my
cute.
son.
Like, yo.
He's a social media manager. Oh, this
boys
is nice. We're gonna put
The
that up on
boys
our-
aren't gonna believe this in
we're
the
gonna
group
put that up on our
chat.
Twitter. Yeah, disturbing.
Okay, that was the first time I watched the video, dude. That is weird.
It's
I got
disturbing.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking disgusting. So I don't
Honestly,
know.
if YouTube took us down for that, I would be okay with it.
No, but
I would get it.
And look, I haven't checked at all, but
Kiss my tongue.
nobody's really denouncing
Jesus
this. Like you don't have any
Christ.
world leaders.
Suck my tongue.
Like you don't
Sorry.
have any.
And he
Other,
said like, suck my tongue.
Suck my
Suck
tongue?
my tongue.
Suck my tongue. Oh, do you think he was speaking Asian and we misunderstood?
Oh, you're
Yeah.
saying like, look at my tongue. Does it look okay? But it's like, suck my tongue.
Yeah.
He was speaking Asian. What a fucking, what a fucking.
no, but
piece of shit.
no, but also the fact that this hasn't been denounced by anyone, like any world leader or anything, like.
Look, I may not be a world leader, but I denounce it. I condone it. I condemn it. Condone it. What's the word? Condemn.
Yeah, condone
I
means to
don't
agree.
condone it.
yeah.
I condone denouncing it. I condemn the act.
So, so there's the Dalai Lama, guys, for you. Surprise! He's as fucking creepy as any other religious leader.
He's a grown man who walks around in a fucking bathrobe all day in sandals.
Finally, the only religious leaders that make sense are ours. There's no
the Muslim
issue.
ones. The Muslim ones are the only
Oh,
ones.
yeah, the
that
Muslim
don't do
ones
crazy
are,
shit.
yeah.
The only thing they do that's
Well,
bad, they beat women.
beat their women.
I mean, that happens.
Oh,
No, ours are not any better. One just got, I saw in Australia, and I use
Look.
the term ours very loosely because I'm
Do you
I'm
mean the
not a
Orthodox
practicing-
priests?
Orthodox people's, look, I like about, in terms of religion, the fact that Greek priests can marry, I think is a genius
Game
move.
changer.
It's game changer
Yeah.
because it protects all the children.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
But
then you have the
other
bishops.
people, other
But then,
men's
yeah,
wives
because if you
aren't
want
safe,
to,
though.
move up
No,
the hierarchy,
that we know. That's even if they weren't priests.
No, because if you want to move up the hierarchy, you can't get married, and that's where there's definitely some stuff
Perversion
going on.
happens. I saw our, what is he
But
now?
you don't
He's
hear
a
it.
bishop. What is he here?
He's no longer
He's a
here.
deacon.
Who?
What's his name?
The main guy, the Canadian guy.
Not the main Canadian guy, the guy who's here in Montreal.
He's a bishop.
He's not an archbishop.
No,
He's a
the
bishop
archbishop
now.
is only
You know,
one
I thought he was a
archbishop.
deacon.
No.
Anyways, the young guy.
Yeah.
I saw him the other day walking with his Ray-Bans, and he was holding all his regalia on his shoulders like it was weapons. I was like, this guy, what is happening here? Like, what is this?
He's not gonna be around. He's leaving.
Oh, is he leaving?
Oh, he got canned.
I'll be so sad.
That's what I heard.
I don't care.
I heard he got canned.
I mean,
for
I
what-
really don't care at
doesn't
all.
matter. Toxic
Culture.
toxic attitude and behavior. Yeah.
So he wasn't listening to his boss.
Yeah. Wasn't getting along either with the other priests. I don't even know what we're getting into inside.
I'm just saying, like, as for terms of religion, like, they're all silly to me. Everyone can believe what they want, obviously, but organized religion to me is it's a farce.
All right, let's move on. Remember the whole scandal where Chinese millionaires, Chinese millionaires, which one? Chinese?
I thought you said that. I was like,
A
whoa.
question: how do we know they're millionaires?
Because we know they're gazillionaires, and they had
They're Chinese.
they
They're
had
making
given
money.
money to the Trudeau Foundation.
Oh, yeah,
Remember
those
that
guys.
whole story where the whole thing about the Chinese interference, which amazingly nobody talks about anymore. It's weird, but anyway.
Honestly, I don't know who's in charge of Trudeau's like marketing or the PR and the damage control, but they're doing a great job. They really, like,
Yeah,
honestly, they are doing a phenomenal job. And they're not doing it now. The work it's like groundwork. They did the work
Yeah,
for years,
yeah.
and now everything just goes away.
Yeah. No, the marketing
It's
has been
fucking-
top notch.
It's next level. I want to work with them. Honestly, I know it's for a bad cause, but it's so impressive what they're doing. If there were awards for this, they should get
It's
it.
crazy how. You remember we had this conversation. We're like, okay, he can't survive this. There's no fucking way he can survive this. Like, it's done. It's over.
He's the
2 weeks
Teflon
later,
John.
2 weeks later, fuck, nobody talks about it. Mind you, there's still a committee. There's still a report that everybody's is waiting for. there's a lot of things that are that are still
You're talking about the
expected.
report that's being made by his people.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're waiting for it.
Well, there's some
With
pressure.
bated breath, George.
I mean, see, like it's not like something that, before it was several times a day, right? I mean, for that week, that 1 week was horrible for them, right? And then suddenly it
were
all
fine.
disappeared. Biden came here.
I saw
there
an
was the
amazing,
budget, and then somehow
video yesterday of a crop circle in the prairies
Mm-hmm.
where the crop circle read "Fuck Justin Trudeau." Jagmeet already does. It was great. It was really great.
you gotta love these guys.
laughed.
They don't even hide it anymore.
No, they're
it's
just
like we
like,
fucking
whatever.
hate you.
Yeah.
Period. So anyway, because of that whole scandal and because of all the negative press, the people over at the Trudeau Foundation, they couldn't deal with it. So yesterday they all resigned. The entire board and the CEO of the foundation all resigned.
And just 'cause from the pressure.
Yeah, they said, listen, man, this has become too political.
Did they sign any non-disclosure agreements on their way out?
I don't know, but I mean, how could it not become political? Fuck, I mean, you're called the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation. You know that you've been getting funded, or not funded, but there were some donations given from China, and suddenly,
Going too political.
you're like, oh, of course it's become political, and you were too dumb to
don't-
fucking not see it by
I
taking
don't
money from
remember-
Chinese millionaires
I don't remember
that
if I said
clearly
it.
wanted something out of Justin Trudeau.
I don't remember if I said it last week. If I did and I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But I'm actually, as mad as I've been, I'm kind of happy. I'm glad that he's kissed so much Chinese ass. Because like now that they're in charge, at least we're okay.
How are we okay?
Because like we used to kiss ass to the US.
I
They were
prefer
in charge.
kissing ass to the U.S.
Yeah, but now, me too, I would prefer it. I like their fast food better.
Yeah.
But now it's udon noodles all the time.
But think about
But
this.
they're in charge.
No,
Look, Canada just released news recently that as of 2024, we will be exempt from having, and this applies to all Greek people, like we're going to need this, we will be exempt from having to get visas to enter Greece because Greece is a Schengen country, right? Of course it is. So everyone else in the world, like in the US, for example, like all the Greek Americans, when they want to visit Greece, they're going to need visas as of 2024. We will be exempt because we've been good Chinese puppets. Thank you, Justin.
Wait, Americans
gonna need a
aren't
visa to
part of
enter parts of Europe,
the Schengen, no?
No, they're not. No, they're not. The Schengen zone is no. So we'll be exempt because we've been good puppets. Isn't that nice? Justin helped us. He saved me $50.
But we don't need a visa. Okay, yeah.
We
okay,
will
sure,
need
sure.
a visa soon.
Oh,
Everyone
we will.
to enter
Okay.
Schengen zones, and Greece is part of the Schengen zone.
By the way, I have just to come back on the Dalai Lama thing.
Oh no, don't.
You know these
That was
monks.
20 minutes ago.
I just want to put this out there. You know how they have oaths of silence?
They have oaths, yeah.
Oaths.
Oaths.
Oaths
Yeah.
of silence? Suspicious. Why
Why?
so many people have oaths of silence, bro?
Explain.
What are they hiding? How many of them were molested, do you think?
Oh, you think they can't talk because they've been fucking?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
took an oath. They're like, you better
They
take
took,
an oath.
they took a loaf, my friend.
They took a loaf and then they took an oath.
Yeah. First you loaf it, then you oath it.
Sorry, just
Then you suck-
sorry to interrupt. Just
Then you suck the tongue.
But anyways, all this to say that, like, look at the preparation and the patience, from the Chinese side, right? I mean, this has been a process that has been
Again, super
ongoing
evil,
for
but I
like
tip my
8
hat to
years,
them.
9 years.
Longer than that. I have to say, they did a fucking bang up job fucking us. If it didn't affect me so negatively, I would be more impressed. But I'm impressed nonetheless.
Speaking of moron politicians, Emmanuel Macron, the French president, visited China last week.
Okay.
In an attempt to kind of persuade the Chinese president to figure out a deal between Russia and Ukraine to kind of bringing more
Broker
on,
peace.
to kind of sway him more towards.
I'm sure
the
that went
Western.
exactly how Macron hoped, right?
That's what he thought. He left that meeting, and his statement basically that he made was that, well, Europe needs to stop following the U.S. We can't be followers. Every time the U.S. says whatever, jump, we say how high with the I'm adding that. He didn't say that. But essentially he said, look, we need to make sure that Europe is sovereign in its policies, and we can't always be following the U.S.
So he went to kiss ass with China.
And we're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then he said, and that also goes for the situation in Taiwan. 48 hours later, you have the Chinese army doing exercises, military exercises around Taiwan, circulating. It's been ongoing for like 2 days now, different military exercises around Taiwan. And I'm thinking, What the hell is
I've
wrong with
always
this
been
fucking
confused
guy?
by the Taiwan situation.
What would no?
Taiwan
So,
is part
so
of
the
China.
question I have is this: okay, don't follow the U.S. What happens tomorrow if the U.S. and to a certain extent even Canada say, okay, no problem, man. You don't want to follow us, no problem. Deal with the Ukraine issue yourself. We're gonna withdraw all our military aid. It's a European issue. You don't want to follow us, no fucking problem. Take care of your things. Why the fuck are we following you?
That'll never happen.
No, but I'm just
But
saying
it can't
like,
happen because it's not a U.S. leading situation. It's a NATO.
It's a NATO
situation.
thing. I
Yeah.
understand that. The point I'm trying to make is that when you have an
I want
alliance,
water from Tim Hortons. Ugh.
yeah, whatever. Water's
Why
water.
you drink anything? No, it's not.
What are you drinking?
Esca.
Is that better?
Oh, it's much better.
Where is it?
It's probably from like Ajax. No, no, water's not water. You ever drank the Sunny or Aquafina?
I've drank real spring water, my friend, and nothing
From up north?
Yeah,
You stick the bucket in and
Just- yeah, that's
get all
it.
those germs.
there's no germs.
There's germs.
That's pure water.
They're good germs, though.
Oh yeah.
I like in Greece that you can just drink from things that come out of the mountain
Yeah.
and you don't even question it. You're like, yeah, this must be
It
safe.
comes out of the mouth and it must be clear, pure natural water.
It tastes good.
Yeah, it's refreshing and nice and cold.
So cold, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what Macron is thinking. Obviously, since that statement, there's been some reaction from different partners from all over the world, especially in the U.S. and Canada, to the extent of really just questioning his motives. Like,
I mean, doesn't he have enough problems at home right now, him?
you know what? I support him with that. With
Like,
what's
why is
happening
he
in
doing
France.
other things? Like, shouldn't he be dealing with what's happening in
There's
France?
a huge crisis in France to begin with, but I agree
Yeah,
with
let's-
what they're
we should
trying to
talk
do in
about
France.
that.
Yeah,
Well, what's
what-
happening?
I don't really know much.
I don't have a lot of the details, but what's
Me neither.
happening in France is that Macron is trying to change the law and to increase the age of
Which I
retirement.
believe in France is 47.
It's I think 60,
It feels like it might be.
I think you can
60.
check it out. I think it's
62.
60 or 62, and he's trying to bring it to 65, something like that. You know.
Doesn't seem crazy.
And if you compare with what's happening now in Quebec, the Quebec budget came out and Legault he didn't increase it, but he gave interesting incentives to people that want to work until 75 if they want to. If they want to. They don't say you have to work until 75, but, if you're
these
able to
laws
work.
only really apply to government employees.
No. Why? Anyway, look at my mom. She's still working.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how old she is, but she's
You don't know how old your mother is, or you just don't want to say?
no. She must be 75 now. My mom, 76.
Good for her.
So there's new incentives that there's tax credits and all these things. So and then you compare that to France, where 62 years old, you fucking stop working. They already work 4 days a week. What the fuck do you guys want?
Maybe they're doing better. Maybe they're
And
just
everyone
smarter
is
than
in
we
the
are.
streets. Fuck, it's my right. Dude, the fucking
10
country,
million of them.
The country is fucking caving in because we need workforce. And you guys are like, it's ridiculous.
Well,
so
the
I
problem
agree
is
with
you
what
need
he's
to
trying
keep
to do.
them in the workforce longer because the younger generation isn't entering the workforce.
Number one.
They're entering different workforces.
So, but I think the reason why this whole crisis started in France is because he used this article in their constitution that allows him to pass it without necessarily having to go through a vote in their parliament, and that's what he did. And people went fucking ballistic over
It's like
there.
the time they tried to increase the price of cigarettes in Greece. Remember that?
No,
They increased the
they
tax on
fucking
tobacco.
burned down
and
the country.
half of Athens was lit on fire, and they're like, "Look, we're backing off."
Have I told you the story?
This is like the late '90s.
I was in Greece in 2009.
When you were living there,
No. After I went back, and I remember while I was living there, they were talking about banning, like they did here in Canada, right, in all public spaces.
which they kind of have, but not
They
really.
were working on. No, not now. It's enforced fully. It is.
Only in Athens.
This is where my point is.
Okay.
So we go back in 2009. The law had passed, from what we were told. So we're in Athens now, and I was with two buddies, and nobody gives a shit, right? In the cafes, restaurants, everybody's smoking. So they saw what was going on, and they were smokers, so they were smoking. And we're like, is there a law? Is not a law? Nobody gave a shit in Athens, right? And then we go to Mykonos, the fucking party island, right? Where if you think that Athens, nobody cares, in Mykonos, it would be like 100 times worse, right? So we're in a club. One of my friends goes to spark a cigarette, and the bartender's like, "Hey, my friend, outside, you're not allowed to smoke." We're like, "What the fuck
You know
is just
why?
happening?"
You know
here?
why, right?
The tourists.
The tourists, and they'll tell. They're fucking rats.
Yeah,
The tourists.
yeah. God
No,
damn.
I mean, I've been in Greece, and I'm like,
You went
why is
last
there-
year?
I'm like, why is there an ashtray? I mean, I don't really smoke indoors ever because I have my
But
kids.
did you see people smoking indoors, like in coffee shops?
Like,
and
think about it this way: you're sitting outside. Let's say you're having a cigarette, and you want to enter a place because you need to use the restroom that you're a patron at, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna throw the cigarette. You're gonna go inside. In Greece, you just keep it. You just go. There's an ashtray everywhere. We went to this weird, like, fancy, like, country club-esque type place in
Right.
Rhodes. It was called. What's the Greek word for peacock?
Pahoni.
No, it wasn't Greek then. It was an Italian word for peacock. I forget what it was called, but it was all pagones, like all peacocks everywhere. They had like wild peacocks walking around.
Right, that's
I'm like,
nice.
why are there fucking peacocks here? And like, it was the only place where I saw like there was a big sign like, you cannot under any circumstance smoke here. Do not throw your butts. The peacocks will eat them and die. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
Makes
that makes
sense.
sense. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, it was like whatever. Like, go ahead.
By the way, breaking news
Yeah.
off of Twitter. Cardi B says she warns her followers that this world is full of predators after seeing the controversial video with the Dalai Lama.
Well, if it
Who
comes
would
from
have thought that it was Cardi B who was gonna come out and be the voice of fucking reason?
I mean,
The irony, the
What's the
irony.
sound she makes?
But,
Oh yeah.
but also,
you knew that really fast.
yeah,
You knew that very fast.
I'm up to
You had it
speed.
practiced.
I'm up to speed with our culture.
but also the irony, because you know what she used to do, right?
I mean, she was
Yeah,
predated.
we all know. We all
She
know
was
what
a predator herself. She would spike dudes' drinks and rob them.
Whoa, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't know this?
I didn't know she was a black
She
femme
she
fatale.
admitted to it.
Yeah. And one last.
There's a lesson to be learned here for everyone.
Because she was a stripper.
I know she was.
Yeah,
a,
This
she
was a little
hooker.
more uplifting. Elon Musk had an interview with the BBC, and he just tweeted 7 hours ago, penetrating deep and hard with the BBC.
Well played, Elon.
Yeah.
Elon is a good account to follow. I have to say.
Fucking guy, he's out
I
of his
have to
mind.
say though,
He's
what he
out
said
of his
last
mind.
month or 2 weeks ago about AI and how they should halt.
Yeah,
Did you read this?
I read that.
So him and a bunch of other tech people
Yeah, they're
are
coming
saying
out.
we should put
Yeah.
a halt. Okay, speaking of AI, we'll talk about this, but
But how can you
Guys,
really?
no,
how
hold
can
on,
you
hold on,
really
hold on,
just
hold on.
stop it, man?
I worked on a project. You came with me when I went to Sash, right? And we had some issues with the audio on one of the interviews that we did, where we didn't get all of it because she was having a hard time, the speaker, and we were rushed for time. So I never got a conclusion from her.
Oh shit!
Yesterday I used the clips I have and I generated her voice in AI.
Get out!
It is fucking seamless.
How did you do?
I'll show you
Oh,
after. I
okay,
won't
okay,
get into
okay,
it.
yeah.
Like now, it's a complex, convoluted
yeah.
thing, and I had to find one where it won't cache the. 'cause
So
it's
you had
not-
to make up a text with her.
No. I took her 5 minutes of her talking.
Yeah.
I uploaded it into this generator.
Right.
I did the computing on my own computer instead of using their server, so it took forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave it a text, and it basically I was like, okay, I need an ending. Here's the ending I needed, and it's. I mean, if you listen to it without background music and without images, you can maybe tell it's a bit odd.
Yeah, both.
But in the final mix, it's seamless. I
That's
showed Anna
incredible.
yesterday. She's like, "This is creepy. This
It's
is super
fucked up.
creepy."
It's crazy.
Like everyone keeps saying AI is going to take your job. No, someone using AI is going to take your job.
Yeah.
Like we all need. Like it's out there. We need to use it right now, and it's honestly changed my workflow for a lot of things. Pitching clients, doing the initial like rough outline. Like I'll do the basic creative, and then I'll put it into like one of the copy AIs or whatever. I'm not going to use it for the final script, but I use it to generate.
Yeah.
Because you know when you get stuck and you're trying to do something, you just need a kick.
Yeah.
The AI will give you that kick.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. It's very, very interesting. And I find the more I use
I've
it,
used it a little bit, and
I
it
use
is
it daily.
interesting. It
I
is
use a lot of
interesting.
them
but
daily.
not to that level.
I forget what it was called. Play, resemble, one of the AI voice. I voice cloned.
Wow.
Like you can generate full. You have to pay for that service. The one I used was free. You can generate full. Like you put in your voice and you go to ChatGPT or Copy AI. You put in a topic and you say, "Write me a podcast, 30 minutes." Then you put it into that one, and it generates your voice doing the podcast.
Yeah. They've done that with.
It's nuts.
Have you seen the one they did with Rogan and Justin Trudeau?
The deep fakes.
Fuck
Yeah.
So funny.
The one I use is the one they use for deepfake.
Yeah.
It's like
See that
it's so
worries
scary.
me. That because see, look, we're talking about the Dalai Lama. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, it's fake. Like it's fake.
You
It's
never
a
know
fake.
anymore.
It's a fake video. Until he came out and apologized, I'm
You
like,
know how
holy
you know if
shit, it
it's
was
or
real.
not? Look at the fingers. AI has a hard time with
Yeah,
hands.
yeah,
Have you noticed
yeah,
that?
yeah.
The fingers are always kind of weird. So strange. So strange. I mean, the good thing is it'll probably put an end to sex trafficking because all like these AI cam girls, like you don't need to have women doing that. But it also puts women 10 steps back because they were making bank.
I think it puts them ahead.
Maybe.
Did you guys hear that there
Let's
were
be honest.
some?
Because now they'll be, some of the dumb ones will be forced to actually do something.
Could be the end of society because you have all these girls that can't do anything else, these OnlyFans girls, and now they're like driving a school bus, and that's not going to end well.
Or finally, the incels are going to get laid, more reproduction.
No, the incels won't get laid either way. They just can't.
Did you guys hear that yesterday? Justin Trudeau's website and a few other government websites,
We're
including
linking
the
to porn?
Senate. No, they crashed. There were some Russian pirates, online pirates that hacked the sites and everything.
It's pirates.
Pirates, because Justin Trudeau has received the Prime Minister of Ukraine, so I can't remember what the name was.
Keep going with the sign for just 1 second. Okay.
Some Russian group called No Name took responsibility. They came out and said that because Canada was actively supporting the Ukrainian effort in that conflict, so they hacked the fucking website. Trudeau's website went down, the Senate website, and some other government sites as well. And it's crazy how much control they have over us. At any point in time, you can just lose fucking. And they just hacked the site. Imagine if they had access to other information. And this is what I find scary. I mean, this is the government side over here, guys, and you never know who can do what and what they can gain from it. So, pretty scary stuff. So everything is back now. I guess it was just to send a message. But it's still pretty scary, and especially after what we spoke about, where Canada was, the whole thing with the Chinese interference. So it just feels like we're such an easy fucking target. I don't understand how.
Well, that's because
we're not
weak.
better protected.
We're
I don't
we're
know.
a big country. We're not a lot of people. There's a lot of factors that, it's not a very patriotic country. Gun control is rampant in this country.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, man. I'm talking about just control of your network. You're online. Like, how do you? I don't know, man. I'm clueless with these things. I don't know how people can access and pirate things and hack your sites and stuff. I don't know. I'm assuming that government sites would have a much stronger firewall to protect.
Yeah, okay, bro.
To protect it from
Speaking
these guys.
of government firewalls and stuff like that, you know how? Remember that movie with Tom Cruise about where they predict a crime and they go and they stop
Minority
the crime?
Report.
Minority
Yeah.
Report. There you go. You know how they already have that technology coming out? They're trying it in Australia at the Gay Pride Parade. It's already live in China and everything.
The facial recognition thing you're talking about?
Not just the facial recognition, but also kind of how to stop crimes before they happen. You know how the FBI always know. Let's say every time there's a mass shooting, you know how the FBI always knew that this person they knew they were a criminal. They knew they had guns.
Well, because they've been monitoring them.
Because they've been monitoring, right? But they can't actually arrest before anything happens, right? Because that's the law. Do you think this keeps resurfacing to make an argument to take more rights away in order to be able to do anything before, kind of like Minority Report?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's interesting to think about, though.
I doubt it.
It is.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. We're talking about how the Justin Trudeau's site and a bunch of other government sites were hacked by pro-Russian groups.
I was listening.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, like, you would think that Canada, for certain things like this, would have a much stronger firewall. And this guy's brought up Minority Report. It's like, oh, maybe they're doing this on purpose because they already control us, so they just need more arguments in favor of them just moving in without, like, before you actually commit a crime. So like, the FBI monitors you.
Like a Minority Report false flag.
No, because let's say, for example, the people that are being monitored, and there's a lot, right? I mean, if they're suspecting of any terrorist crimes or whatever, they've tapped your lines, they're monitoring you. He's like, oh, well, now this will be another reason for them to actually come in and arrest you, just because of the perceived threat that they have.
Yeah, I mean, it's plausible. I don't know, maybe. I wouldn't put anything past them anymore. I don't know what's real. Like, I read stuff, I'm like, this is fake.
Having said that, yesterday during that meeting, Trudeau announced obviously much more support towards Ukraine.
Sure, yeah, that's what we need to spend more money in the Ukraine. You're right.
Yeah, $2.4 billion in addition to more arms, assault rifles, ammunition. I don't know. I don't know where this story is gonna end. But I was listening to an
Gonna end
interesting.
in a fucking cold nuclear winter.
But you know what the thing is here? I was listening to a very interesting analysis. I don't know if it was on the radio or on a podcast where when Russia invaded Afghanistan, everybody thought the exact same thing. They thought, fuck, it's done. Russians are moving into Afghanistan. This we're talking about during the Cold War, where Russian forces were actually something of a threat.
To be reckoned with.
Yeah. Nothing happened. And I don't know if you guys have seen Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks. Fucking awesome movie. Where out of nowhere, there were billions of dollars sent to help out, and which played a huge role in pushing away the Russian army, the Soviet
Because
army.
the CIA spent all that money trading Osama and his buddies.
So I was thinking, is the same thing happening here in Ukraine? Are we at that level where there are billions of dollars sent in aid to Ukraine that they might actually pull this one off? And if they actually do, are we in a situation where in 10, 15 years from now,
gonna turn on
we're
us?
going to have these, I don't know, these
Ukrainian radicals
Ukrainian radicals with all this,
training in firepower.
yeah.
Very, I mean, again, very plausible. I don't understand the Ukraine war, honestly. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I understand what started it, how it happened, but like where we're at now, I don't get it. Like, I don't know what any side is doing anymore. The only logical explanation is that they don't want to end the conflict, so they're just dripping along violence so that they can continue to generate funds.
Look, this
for
has
the
definitely
companies that are funding all these.
This has
activities.
definitely become a kind of new East versus West kind of thing, right? The other day, there were I can't remember who it was. I think it was the director of Russian Secret Service, like the FSB, and he was saying he was blaming the U.S. for funding this sort of propaganda coming out of Ukraine that has caused all these terrorist attacks in Russia. And they're targeting apparently the younger generation, like the 16 to 30 demographic. And because of all this propaganda against Russia, you have Russian nationals now causing all these terrorist attacks.
But that
I mean, we haven't heard of anything. I mean,
that
they're
could
saying
itself be propaganda.
exactly
Yeah.
right, because I mean, I haven't heard of any. I mean, they enumerated a couple examples where there were some terrorist attacks and all these things, and maybe it's happening. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is,
Russia
they're
preaching
brainwashed
about
by
propaganda is like the pot calling the kettle black. Like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah,
Just, like,
exactly.
Do your thing and just deal with the consequences.
But it works. You know how many people have
course it
swallowed the fucking pill? When this conflict first started, there were all these reports that I was reading because there were Ukrainians that actually had family in Russia and vice versa, right? I mean, they were almost like brothers, right?
Yeah.
And there were so many stories that came up to the effect that, there was, for example, a daughter in Ukraine and the parents were in Russia, and the daughter was like, "We're being attacked, we're being bombed," and the parents were like, "Stop lying, that's impossible. What are you talking about?" She's like, "What are you talking about? Turn on your TV." So there's all these stories like this that came up, and yeah,
I
of
never
course they're
understood
brainwashed.
why there was an East versus West thing. Like there's much bigger threats to each other and to our shared mutual existence than fucking Russia to the US or the US to Russia or whatever, the West versus the East. Like, what are you doing? Like the civilizations, the culture, the society is very similar. I know it's just a power play, but like be cool.
Yeah.
Like let's worry about the real things. Like I don't know what those are right now. I can't think of something without sounding like a racist. But Turkey, let's all focus our energy on Turkey for a bit. How about that? Let's all band together and get what's his name? Kemal.
Kemal.
What's his name? Erdogan out of office and put someone fucking more moderate. Let's put a puppet in place.
That's never gonna happen because
I
even
know.
there, everything's like. See, and now that you're talking about Turkey, last week they had a drone strike in Syria and they attacked a U.S. base. It wasn't a U.S. base. It was
U.S. based.
It was a pro-U.S. Kurdish because the U.S. is working a lot with Kurdish troops over there in northern Syria. They're allies, obviously.
Yeah, the Kurds are like, if we help, maybe we'll get a country.
Not only that, but I mean, the Kurds are obviously against ISIS over there. So naturally, the U.S. is going to ally with them, right? To make an alliance with them. So they've been trained, they're fighting together. And obviously, the Kurds are hated by Turkey. So any chance Turkey gets, they're going to attack the Kurds because they believe that they're the source of every Kurdish terrorist attack happening in Turkey, right? So there was a drone strike in one of these bases. They were targeting some Kurdish leader who is working with the U.S. and there were some U.S. Military that nobody died, but the fact that this attack came from Turkey, everyone now is obviously calling out Turkey, but at the same time, they're like, listen, fuck, can the U.S. and the Western world wake the fuck up? How is this country even a member of NATO? How is there
I mean, we need them in NATO because it keeps them somewhat
well, does
complacent.
it? I don't know.
A little bit. They could be a lot worse than
I
they
don't
are.
know. I mean, they bought those S-400 missiles from Russia, and apparently those systems, they, from what I read, and I don't know the terminology, guys, sorry, but because Turkey has privileged information on other military activities and information systems that they have with the NATO alliance, bringing in those S-400 missiles and attaching them to Turkey's kind of system
Undermines the safety.
not only
of their-
that, but there's a possibility that the information that they have from NATO gets communicated through the other network with Russia and the S-400 missiles. So,
seems pointless to have NATO at that point.
no, it's not that. It's just
think
that
about it.
all
If
the information
nothing
that
is
you
secret,
have,
yeah.
exactly, right? So,
Fucking Turkey just making a mess.
anyway.
What a mess. What's happening in Israel? Someone said, what about what's happening in Israel? What's happening in Israel?
Israel and
I haven't really checked the news much lately.
Benjamin Netanyahu, first of all, he got reelected through a coalition government with the extreme, well, it's not extreme, it's the right wing, right? So there's a very...
Binet.
Sorry?
Binet.
Is it? No, it's...
That's what I call
I think-
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, okay.
Binet.
I thought you were talking about the name of the party.
Binet, Binet.
That's so fucking funny.
Damn, sounds
Anyway,
like it's getting real.
So there's a coalition now with an extremely right-wing coalition in Israel, and Netanyahu is trying to make...
Are they very right wing or are they just very conservative, George?
No, they're a little bit more right-wing.
Okay.
In any case, he's trying to bring up a reform of the justice system. And obviously, whenever the government gets involved with that, it's always touchy. And I can't remember the details, but I think there has something to do with the appointment of judges and the appeal process and everything. And it's all fucking chaos. You have the prime minister of a country trying to kind of take over the justice system.
Sounds right.
And let's not forget that Netanyahu is also waiting to either be I think he's waiting trial or for some, I can't remember for what happened.
Trying to make Israel great again.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I mean a lot of similarities with Trump and in the U.S. Although the Trump didn't really get involved in reforming the justice system. I mean they do nominate the judges that sit on the Supreme Court, but aside from that, it's pretty independent, right?
Okay.
So that's what's happening in Israel, and everyone has lost their shit. There was an article that came out yesterday, the 11th, yesterday, in the Gazette. One of the top priorities of the city of Montreal following this ice storm. Guess what it is?
French language laws.
No,
Okay, go.
Montreal, city of Montreal. So you're at the city you're in the administration of the city of Montreal. There's an ice storm, all these damages.
Oh, shit.
What's
I know.
what's the
the next
priority?
logical step would be we need more bike paths.
No,
No.
no,
LGBTQ flags everywhere.
no.
Tell me. Oh, wait. No.
You're close. Go on.
Am I close?
I don't know.
Drag shows for kids.
No.
Okay, go.
No. The priority of the city of Montreal is once everything gets in order, we will replace those trees that fell.
Wait, what?
The city of Montreal is
Basically, once
committed.
we've cleaned up all the trees, we're going to plant new trees?
We're committed to replacing.
Honestly, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
We're
We need
committed
those
to
trees.
replacing the trees. Whatever it costs, as many trees as it is, we are going to be replacing them. It's
But
like,
will we
what
be
the
maintaining
fuck?
them is a different question. No, I'm okay with that. Honestly, of all the dumb shit the city does, my daughter's so funny. She's like, we needed those trees. They were so beautiful. They help us breathe. I'm like, she's not wrong. But whatever. Like, I was not close, George. I was way off.
Yeah, well, like you said, bike paths. I'm like, oh, maybe he's going there.
No. I'm okay with them replanting because we didn't really lose that many trees in terms of whole trees. We lost a lot of branches. But I mean, in the 5 block by 5 block radius where I live, let's say, we lost like 6 mature trees, like fully derooted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with replanting the trees. That's fine.
Something for the animal lovers out there. The governor of Quebec has taken an old law that was enforced in 2015 by the Liberals, which was a law to protect the animals. And they're investing $8 million for the well-being of animals. They're going
What sorts of animals?
domestic animals, mostly cats and dogs.
Oh, okay.
And the idea here is to create to bring in and pay inspectors that whose job will be, let's
Make
say,
sure
for
your
example,
animals
your
are-
neighbor, you hear stuff and you think that the dog or the cat is being treated wrongfully or whatever, you will call. There's going to
So
be
a
an inspector.
DPG for animals.
A DPG for animals, exactly. But this is an issue
Huh, that's interesting. Maybe we should have taken that money and invested in the actual DPG.
that 8 million.
I'm not saying I don't like the animals,
Yeah.
but I seem like I like the kids more.
For
I'm
sure.
just saying.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
as much as the Dalai Lama likes them.
Yeah,
but,
nobody.
you know.
Nobody likes it. But this also comes at a time where there was a lot of noise at the National Assembly with respect to, because it's moving season soon, right? So every
And all the
time
animals are going to get left on the street.
all the animals get left in the street, or there was a motion that was presented. I'm not sure if it was adopted. I think it wasn't, from Quebec Solidaire, to make sure that tenants cannot refuse. Landlords cannot refuse tenants that have animals. Right? I don't think it passed. But the idea here was that, and parties like Quebec Solidaire, their argument is that every time that it's the moving season, there is a disproportionate amount of animals that are somehow suddenly found in shelters and all that stuff because, one, they can't take them with them, or they're left behind for whatever reason.
To fend for themselves. I mean, someone asked me once, they're like, why doesn't Canada have the same like stray issues that like Southern Europe has? You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, because they all die in the winter. They're like, oh, good point.
No, but we don't have that many though. Think
Because they
about
all
it.
die in the winter. They can't survive.
But no, but
You tell
but
me
even-
a house cat's gonna live in the fucking ice storm?
No, but have you
I
seen?
saw a squirrel frozen solid.
But have you seen stray dogs? You don't see that.
No, you don't.
They
Because-
die. They die.
They die.
Forget about the die. Okay, what about summertime? You don't
yeah,
see
okay.
any.
Maybe you see one. You won't see them again next year.
Cats, though, you see a lot. There's a lot of cats.
Cats? We don't have stray
You
cats
see a few in the
What
summer.
are you talking about, dude? There's
I've
so
never
many.
seen a stray cat.
Come
Those
to-
are just house cats that are chilling.
No.
They're outside cats.
No. Come to
Yeah,
my come to my lane, my parents' house in the lane. There's so many.
Really?
Yeah, they live under their balconies.
Oh, in Park
They're-
X.
Yeah.
Yeah, Park X cats. That's different. different. They
hood.
came here from their original country of origin.
They have.
They immigrated here. Park X is a crossroads.
So anyway, so $8 million to create this kind of department where there's going to be inspectors, and mind you,
Okay, this is my point. This is my take on this. Good. I'm glad that we care about animals. That's nice. But stupid because we have bigger problems. Okay?
we do. But $8 million, I mean, it's not. It's
What's
not,
$8 million? I had to lose couch change.
Look,
We pulled it out of the parliament rugs.
in a budget of 120 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know.
$8 million to.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
That's it.
Okay. No more. So no one's going to suck tongue with the animals. Good.
Damn it.
Damn it. You were looking forward to that? No. Trying to see if there's anything new popping
Small
up here.
news for people that really follow, like that are really, politic buffs.
Politic buffs?
Political buffs, the politicos, whatever.
Politic kills.
A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if we had spoken about this on the podcast, but Mark Garneau, who was the federal MP in Westmount, the astronaut,
Yeah. Garney.
he resigned. He
Mark,
stepped down.
yeah, I
He
saw.
announced that he wasn't running again. So obviously, it's a safe seat up for grabs.
You going to run?
No. So there was an article that was published yesterday morning, or was it today? I can't remember. Anyways,
Anyways, whatever. It was published in the last 28 hours. 28,
one of
not
the
24.
aspiring candidates in that riding will be Anna Gainey, the daughter of Bob Gainey.
Who's Bob Gainey? Why can't I remember?
Bob Gainey, the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. He used to be the coach as well and DG of the Canadiens.
Is a hockey player.
Of course.
Okay.
Bob Gainey.
Bald guy.
No, he's not bald.
No?
Is he? Is Bob Gainey? No, is
I don't
yeah,
hoc-
he is.
I don't
Yeah, he
hockey,
is.
but I remember. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Bob Gainey's daughter wants to be in
Bob
politics
Gainey's
now.
daughter. No surprise. I mean,
That's
for the
what we
people-
need. We need more nepotistic nominations.
I
I,
don't
like
think
it.
that's has to do with nepotism, but look, for the people that are following, it's not a surprise. I mean, she's been.
How old is she?
She
40s?
hold on.
I mean, he's pretty. He must be what? 80. Him?
This is Bob Gainey.
Yeah, bald guy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's
balding.
Yeah, he's baldish.
I'm allowed to say it because I'm also bald.
Yeah,
It's like the N word.
I don't know how old she is. She must be in her late 30s, early 40s.
It's my age. Yeah, okay.
What's
her name?
Anna Gainey.
Anna Gainey. That's a good name.
Let's go take a look at that.
Anna Gainey. Tile. Yeah, Anna Gainey.
She was for a long time. She was the president of the party. highly involved.
I hate her. I fucking hate her. I won't vote for her. You know why? Because of this.
Well, yeah, man. She was the president of the Liberal Party. Obviously, she has a relationship.
She's jump with Justin.
She has no.
I don't like it. She's looking at him in a very strange way in this photo, right? Like the kind of look you give someone who you bent over and fucked with a strap on.
This is the problem with photos, man. It could be like a split second, and they take the photo that looks a little.
Doesn't matter. I think Justin took it from her.
I don't know
Her
how
and
old
Sophie
she is,
double teamed him.
but she looks like she's
Probably in her 40s.
She looks like she's in her.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Anyways, no surprise there for the people that have been following. Anna Gainey has been involved for a long time in the party.
All right.
Here's
Next
the fucking. Well, just to get a point across, because they're gonna have an open convention, which I've always been against, and I know that she's the favorite. Like I'm sure that Justin Trudeau's people are pushing on her because they probably want her to run.
Wait, she was pushing on him, huh?
So I don't understand why would you open a fucking convention if that's who you want. Just get her there, get her elected, and get over with it. There's gonna be a fucking race, and I'm telling you for a fact that in a couple of months from now, when this is gonna be done with, we're gonna come back. There's gonna be all these controversies on fucking wrongdoings and that election having been done.
Have you not learned your lesson
improperly?
Yet? I wonder sometimes. Like this type of story. Up until now, you've been doing great. But this story, this is not a news story.
It's news. It's Anna Gainey. She's the daughter of Bob Gainey.
This
She's
is Circus Maximus shit. This is the type of garbage that people waste their energy analyzing and discussing.
Yeah,
and it keeps us busy instead of discussing things that are actually important.
Okay, what's important?
This is not important.
Okay, it's not important. Anna
It's
Gainey.
not.
Okay, no,
Unless she's
it
your
isn't.
friend and you're trying to help her.
I said it's for the ones that are really like inside politics. For the ones
But
that
those
really
people
follow.
are the ones who I don't want to hear their opinions anymore. If you're a political, you're an idiot.
Idio.
You're a Maranio. You're a Malakio.
Okay, let's move to another story before we close it off.
No.
Did you hear?
Closing it off already?
It's almost 11:30.
53,
Wow, bro.
Bruh.
53 vehicles that were stolen in Quebec and Ontario.
Turned
were
up where?
In the port of Montreal.
No shit.
Well, there's only one way out.
Let me ask you, of all SUVs,
And some Honda Accords.
I don't know. Look, it's a total value of $2.6 million. A
lot of cars.
No suspect. Yeah, from the pictures, a lot of them seem to be SUVs.
yeah.
Is there a black Land Rover there? My brother-in-law's got
Oh, he had
right out of his
stolen?
driveway. Yeah,
No
a
way.
while ago. Yeah. I don't know
Were
if it
they
was a
were
Land
they
Rover.
found the 53
It
cars?
was like a year and a half
They
ago.
found them. Yeah, they found them at the port of Montreal. No, but you know how easy it is not to steal cars. And I don't know about you, but I think I saw one video and then like it tripped the fucking algorithm. And every time I'm on fucking Facebook, I keep
getting young
seeing these
girls,
cars. No, I keep seeing these security camera footage of people's cars getting stolen right out of their driveway.
Well,
Well, I mean, it happened to my brother-in-law like a year and a half ago. I think they found the car because he had a dual load jack of some kind. Like they were able to track the car. It
Yeah.
was in the port. It was about to leave.
Yeah.
The car was not damaged, but whatever.
Because of the smart keys, what they do is,
Yeah, they have a sensor. They
have
go
a
around your
sensor.
house. They pick up the key thing,
Yeah.
and then they just go.
and
and
it copies the code
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the key has, and they send it to another
wouldn't
receiver.
wouldn't that mean that they would have to be within like a couple feet of your key?
Well, look, theoretically, I mean, they don't know where your key
I think
is.
it's
So,
like
like,
10
if you're in, if you leave your keys in the entrance, for example, when you come home, or in your kitchen or whatever, you
Through
know,
the window or whatever.
yeah, they just
I mean, I
walk
live
around.
upstairs. No one's stealing my key
That's
card.
for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm safe.
Like they walk around until they get a little. Doot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll put because I'm getting a new car now.
What are you getting?
I got myself a brand new 2023 Hyundai.
Hyundais are good
You're
cars.
good car.
safe.
I'm safe.
Which
Don't
one?
steal them.
The Santa
No.
Fe?
No,
You know what they
Santa Fe
steal?
was too big for me. It's
Yeah.
a lot of
And
gas.
not because it's a Hyundai. They steal Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler products a lot. Ford, they don't touch. GM and
I love how he's talking
steal a
so
lot.
confidently.
he
No, no,
he
I
might
know.
know. He
No,
knows
no,
about
I know,
cars.
I know.
Yeah.
There's very few times I'll let him
GM,
go.
they
Cars he
steal.
knows.
Hondas are hot, but any Honda.
My
Yeah,
brother's
I know.
Honda, they stole it right out of his driveway.
So yeah,
what else?
so to go back to our conversation, it's Hyundai
BMWs
Tucson.
they stay away from.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than what I have now. I need more trunk space with the kids. Like I
sure.
don't have.
No, yeah.
My trunk is a joke. My accent had a bigger trunk. We have a lot of car cabin space. We're comfortable, but there's no trunk space. Like if I want to put like groceries and like I don't know a handbag, I'm out of space. So I got the next size up, but Anna's like, I don't like the chrome trim, and it was kind of tacky. And then I'm like, what's this urban model? She goes, she was Albanian. The girl. She goes, urban, all black. I'm like, only black people buy? Like, what is she saying? She's like, all black urban. I'm like, oh, the car's all black. She goes, all black. She just kept saying all black, all black. I was like, what's black? She goes, everything black. Black rim, black zand.
That's nice.
Black window.
Black Zant.
Yeah, she's Albanian. Instead of saying rim, she said zand.
I don't know how my Honda Accord never got stolen.
It's Park X. No one
Because the
steals in Park X.
Japanese
That's where they
models,
live.
Japanese model sedans are the most popular stolen cars, taking 6 out of 10
Really?
slots within the top 10. Yeah. Wow.
Is there still that craze for people stealing the catalytics?
Was that
yeah.
a thing?
Yeah, actually,
What is a catalytic? I don't know. You make meth with it?
because I work in
they take the metal. They sell the.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
because I work in car rentals again. One of the competitors, they had a car return, and then bro, they started up like a fucking jet engine. I go, bro, what the fuck happened? It was a Mitsubishi Eclipse. I go, bro, what the fuck happened? This is a 4-cylinder car. They go, they sold a catalytic converter.
Yo, this is what I got. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm not a car guy, but it's one of the first times
nice. Yeah.
the first times I'm getting a car, I was like, yo, this is a cool car. Look at those.
Yeah.
It's
Black.
everything is black.
Black mags. Yeah.
All black zand.
Black Zant.
Oh, black zand.
Zant.
But I just needed more space, to be honest. And the lease was coming up, and the weirdest part is the car is more expensive than what I'm driving now. The interest rates are much higher than my current.
But you're gonna
interest
be paying
rate,
less?
and I'm paying less per month.
How does that?
What?
My first car from Hyundai, which was now I guess I don't know 11 or 12 years ago,
Yeah.
was destroyed by a snowplow overnight. I was parked. I woke up in the morning. The car was down the street. Half of it was gone.
Oh my god.
No way.
And I didn't have the valeur à neuf
Right.
insurance, so I
Yeah.
had to do the claim through my own insurance.
All right.
No, through Hyundai's insurance. I didn't have it with my insurer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got the car back, I mean, it was fine. It was fixed, but it was now a véhicule gravement accidenté, right? Like,
Yeah, VGA.
yeah, VGA. So I couldn't sell it for much. And I realized that the value of the car after being VGA was less, way less than what I owed on the car.
Oh, it
still.
drops by 80%.
It was nuts. So I was like, great. So now I owe like 10 grand on this car. It was a finance,
Which is worth nothing.
which is worth 2 grand. I'm like,
Right.
lovely.
Yeah.
And then I started having weird electrical problems with it. Like, just weird. I'm like, something wasn't fixed right. So I go to Hyundai. I go, look, I need a bigger car, but I have this piece of shit. They're like, look, we'll give you more than its value because we did all the work and we know what's in it, but we're not going to give you what you still owe on it. I'm like, okay. How much? It was like a $3,000 difference.
So you had a bubble.
So I took that finance, what was left, and I put it on my next lease. That car, I drove it for 4 years or 3.5 years. And then when we had Leia, my first, we just didn't fit anymore. Like it was uncomfortable. It was a little hatchback that I had. So then we got this one. And I still, like, there was a couple $1,000s left. So like I was overpaying. Like I'm paying like
Yeah.
$500 for a Kona. I shouldn't be paying that much. You can get
Yeah, that
one
was
for
a
like,
lot, actually.
Yeah, because I had the finance and I said increase the payment so I can get rid of it quick.
The Kona has a good electric one. I saw.
Yeah, but I'm not ready for an electric car yet. Like maybe when I buy a house and I can install a charger, yeah, sure.
Man, you know which car?
I really like the Ioniq, the 5. It was cool.
It's
looking.
really nice.
Sadly, this
Hey,
car.
sorry, they're coming out with a
I
7.
saw it. No, have you seen
A 9 or whatever the
Have you
fuck
seen
it
the
is.
Back to the Future Hyundai concept? It's not a concept anymore.
There's
It's
one
the
that
Envision.
I saw. There's
Yeah.
one that I saw. Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
there's
they're
one
really
from
cool.
Hyundai that I saw. It's still a concept. I think it's Ioniq 7.
Maybe, but Hyundai's doing some nice body work, like nice looking cars.
This thing, dude. If
Bruh.
this car were to be
If
real,
this car comes out, I'm buying it. I don't care. I've never been a car guy. I'm buying this car. I want
you
it.
know it's longer than a Mercedes S-Class.
I don't care. Look at it. It's my childhood made into a car.
bro. I love this car.
It's so fucking cool looking.
It's so awesome, and
Nope.
bro, it sounds like an airplane.
What I
It's
really
What
want
are you
it.
gonna
amazing.
do with this?
Bro, I just want to have it. I just
It's
want to have it.
amazing.
Go to Ioniq 7.
How cool is this?
It's cool. I always wanted an electric
Check
DeLorean.
out the Ioniq 7.
Ioniq 7.
Yeah, it's a cool
It's
looking
a-
car. Hyundai's doing some nice stuff. The Koreans know what they're doing.
Finally.
I mean, the South Koreans.
And the North Koreans,
The
too, if you
North
think
Koreans
about
do
it.
other things, but good, right?
Ioniq 7.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that looks
Look at Olga right away. I
nice.
mentioned Albanians and she's saying racist shit.
That
Yo, what
looks
is that?
That's the
nice.
Ioniq 7.
That looks nice.
It's a little too spacey for me. I do like the.
But this
But
is
it's
all.
but
This
it's
is all.
still-
This
but
is all
it's-
rendering.
It's a concept. It's
Yeah,
a,
it's all rendering. This.
It's cool looking though. But I mean, we're gonna get there. The cars are moving in that direction.
Like I don't know how much of this is gonna be. I don't know how
A
much.
lot of window. It reminds me
Too
of
much
my
window.
first car.
I don't like it when there's too much glass on a car.
I
are you
kind
talking
of
about?
do.
It's
My
nice.
first
No.
car was a Honda Civic.
No, I don't
right?
like it. You know
It
why?
was the ones that had the
Even
big
roof,
windows.
You don't like the whole roof?
No, unreliable. Too many electricals, and
What electricals? Dude? It's just
if
a glass
something
roof.
breaks,
still electric.
if something breaks, it's
What's
weaker.
electric?
There's a lot of
How do you think
glass
it moves, the
shards.
glass?
No. It
Even-
doesn't
even
move. It's just a roof, and it's just glass.
Well, the
I don't
car
like
that I'm
that.
getting has a
That's
full glass
disgusting.
roof,
How
but it
dare you.
opens.
Yeah,
It's a moonroof.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that
A small
you don't-
sunroof is acceptable.
I have a small sunroof. You know what I realized?
All
After I
these
drove a
new-
sunroof for the first time, I can't go back to a non-sunroof.
You can't.
I feel
would.
closed in.
No, yeah, exactly, 100%. No, but see, like this, it doesn't open. There's no sunroof, but the whole thing is a glass from
You know
front.
what's funny?
No,
Cars
yeah, I
are
don't
moving
like that.
towards glass.
That's
and
what I
they're-
have now.
I don't like the panoramic sunroof either. It's
In
too
your
much.
Oh no, dude, the panoramic sunroof is amazing.
In your Stang.
I don't like
In the
it.
Stang.
In the Stang. George has an electric Stang.
I don't know if we're gonna keep
Electric.
it
Oh, the Mach E.
going. Yeah.
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 It is Mach-E.
That's a monstrosity of a car.
So that from front to back, it's just one giant glass.
That's
Same as mine. That's
disgusting.
what I got
That's
too.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Bro, you get in a car accident, something falls, something cracks, it's dangerous.
No, dude.
tempered glass,
It's
eh?
tempered glass. Fuck.
Bro, come on. So you're telling me tempered glass is better than metal?
No, but
In
it
terms
looks
of
nicer.
danger?
No, but it looks.
I don't
nice.
know. Maybe.
No, in terms of safety, he's right. I mean, if your car fucking flips over,
At least you can fly out. Whee!
Yeah, and scrape your fucking head on the
Better than
cement.
fucking smashing my head 1,000 times. My biggest fear in a car accident is the airbag. Scares the shit out of me. Because if I'm crashing, I'm honking the horn, which means I'm breaking my wrist.
oh, you're
Oof.
done. There was a fucking video again.
I saw
there
it.
was a
Video
woman?
with a guy. His feet are on the dash, the passenger,
Blech.
and they get into a car accident. The airbag comes out, and you just see his feet just fucking dangle.
Yeah.
Broken, finished, done.
Finish.
Have you seen, bro? There was one video I saw. This woman, but she never got into an accident. It was basically the Mercedes logo, and she had put all these little Dalai Lama diamonds that stick.
On the inside or the outside?
She put it on the steering wheel where you
Oh,
honk the
okay,
horn
yeah.
to make it pretty.
Oh fuck! So all that flew in her face,
Bro,
Bullets. It's like shrapnel.
shrapnel, bro. Bro, she could be blinded.
Oh shit!
The dumbest shit you see.
Yeah. My first car on the dashboard, it was a Honda Civic, a 1991 Honda Civic. It had like a tray place, so you can put stuff. Like, you remember the old Honda Civics? The dashboard on the passenger side was lower and it had like a track where you could like put your coffee down.
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah,
kinds
okay.
of shit. And I had like I used to keep things there, like a Kleenex box, but there was an airbag in there. So stupid. But that window didn't even have power windows in the back. You had to go back and unlatch them and
Oh,
push them.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
those were cool.
Somebody had broken into my car. They broke the latch, they opened it, and they snuck in.
Have
from
you
the back
guys
window.
seen rally car accidents?
Yeah, it's all I used to watch
It's
as a
the
kid. It was
funniest
my
shit
favorite thing.
because the
But
car
the-
is tumbling.
Yeah, but they're
It's
in a
tumbling
cage. They don't
and-
move. Nothing happens to
Exactly,
these
they're in a
guys.
cage and they have a roll cage. They're very safe cars.
Yeah.
But have you seen the footage of them? Just their hands going
Yeah.
like this, and they're just and
just
their
waiting
faces,
for it to end, yeah.
they're just like
The
this. they're just
camera,
like-
the camera footage from the inside and the outside is so different.
It's
Like,
like,
you see inside, they're like, tuk, tuk, tuk. You see it, and then when you see from outside, the car is destroyed.
they're also
Yeah,
trained to like.
oh, they know
right?
what to do. Yeah,
they know
bring their
exactly. They
hands,
lock up and they just wait. All right, guys, hit the music. Poseidon.
Oh,
We talked about cars. We talked about ice storms. We talked about inept government officials. We talked about the war in Ukraine.
the
And the
Ukraine
war
is
you
weak.
can't see. My name's Phil Balabanos. You can check me out at balabanos.com. I got all kinds of stuff on there. Fun stuff, old videos. Film my hole coming back now that my kids are not sick anymore. Woohoo. Woo. For now. What are you doing? Yeah, I also have a merch store. I've added some new stuff. If you guys want to buy merch and support the podcasts that I make, that's what the merch store is for.
Merch on the
So I
perch.
could buy some new stuff for the new podcast that we're still trying to start. Yeah, I know.
Come on,
I know.
Peter,
I know.
man.
It's not
Come
Peter's
on.
fault. It's been me. I have been out of fuck. I've barely
Alright.
been here for a month.
But it feels
Jiggity
nicer to
George
blame Peter.
Chandrizos, it is fun to blame him. Yeah, fuck you, Otis. George Chandrizos, jiggity.chan.com. That's not a real address. Don't go to it. George has multiple podcasts, only one of which is funked. The other ones are defunct at the moment, which is Politiquement Parlant.
Politiquement parlant, guys.
A show about Haitian politics, where George drives around and touches Haitian men's thighs, but also talks politics. I am Poseidon.com. Not I. He is. Poseidon, cut to your camera a second. Do what you do in the morning when you greet me.
Sexy.
What are you doing?
No.
I don't remember, bro. I don't
do it
remember.
every day.
I'm like a goldfish.
He basically says, "Hi, Phil," or "Hello, sir," whatever he says. And then he goes, "How good do I look in this shirt? Check out this shirt, bro. You like it?" And then he shows me his pubescent chest hair. No areolas on the YouTube. Patreon.com/Pantelis, where you can support all the channel, all the stuff happening on this channel. You can also get early access to some Patreon exclusives, which are pretty cool, like such as Club Zeus. Is that still happening?
Club Zeus, yeah, we're very busy.
Oh, they're very busy. All right. So, I mean, okay, panteliscomedy.com, where you can find all the tour dates. There's a big tour coming, I think. Lots of shows, lots of fun stuff. Comfort Zone on Thursdays, live. Check it out. We'll see you next Wednesday. Yeah?
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, never forget to suck my tongue.